I am having a day. Woke up, my throat was all scratchy. I'm basically running on Dayquil still, days after I finished filming my last video. That doesn't make me feel great, so we're gonna try and capture some whimsy. All of my intimate friends and acquaintances know I bear an unreasonable love for Werner Herzog. It's actually a little too intense. A few weeks ago, I watched his Volcano documentary for the first time ever, and it made me feel alive. I am too poor to travel to a sacred mountain in North Korea, but I can make a little volcano. Something about the freedom in that imagination space that, one, Werner Herzog documentaries trigger, two, volcanoes trigger. We're gonna make a volcano. I'm a basic drama queen, that's what I'm saying. Attempt number one is going to be the classic baking soda vinegar combo, but if that does not work, I have a backup. Who has not been a 15-year-old at a backyard campfire and thought, this'll be fun? Also, there's something about the thickness of a pyroclastic flow, watching the clouds race down the volcano cone, that feels like this might be, oh, I just shook it. That might be better than the vinegar explosion. We'll see. We're just gonna have a time. Is this parallel play? Get set up and then I'll just check in as the steps go along. Am I sweating so much? I might have a fever. I'm gonna rewatch Into the Inferno as I get set up. I think this baking tray might be older than I am, which is definitely saying something. It's soaking wet because I washed it. You're welcome. So I got the documentary up and I had never looked at like the age rating before because why would I? It's a documentary. And I looked and it's rated TV PG, appropriate, but the reason is fear. Who screams for fear in a documentary about nature? Nature is scary. And this is the little setup we're starting to get going. Baking tray is here to prevent a mess. I am messy interpersonally, but only a little bit literally. We're gonna start building the volcano here, and I'm gonna watch that over there. All the instructions online say to use a water bottle. I only had this empty glass cardamom container laying around and this basically empty thing of sulfate-free shampoo that I haven't used in forever. And I think this is bigger. I think it'll funnel the bubbles up in a way. It won't be round, it'll be interesting. And also all the instructions say to mix the bicarbonate, the baking soda with dish soap anyway. So this will be our dish soap substitute. We'll see. Maybe this will be a disaster. I want the, ooh, smells good. I don't know if this whole thing, if I want this to be this tall. Oh my God, I'm gonna get soap everywhere. If I cut my fingers open in front of you, I'm billing you for my urgent care copay. Doesn't need to be, there we go. Doesn't need to be a tight seal, but there, smaller. I made it smaller. This spoon is kind of too big. We're gonna see how this goes. I have this coffee cup from when we're gonna cut off the bit of it and then flip it upside down to make the slope of the volcano. Much. There. A little short, whatever. I start building around it. I used to be a baker and I have a bunch of leftover baking supplies that I never use. So I've gone ahead and made a test version of some Play-Doh. It's just flour that I was never gonna use and is getting, you know, close to the time where it's kind of stale, and then a ton of salt and water, and you just make a lump, and we're gonna get artsy. My beautiful boy. Okay, I'm in the middle of mixing more Play-Doh, but I just got to the part in the documentary where Werner Herzog is talking about how he sees volcanoes and how it's not just in destructive terms. He's talking about how it's good that they're there as reminders that there's no permanence to the soil we walk on. It is moving, shifting. Volcanoes are the symptom of the shifting landscape, and there's no permanence to art or science or the efforts of human beings. And many people would see that as like a depressive thought. For me, I think the reason I love this documentary so much is that it's a great relief. There is no permanence to anything we do. It's going to explode and be melted away by the passage of time. So there's no pressure. Do what you want, live your life. You are an ant staring into the molten fires of the earth. Play-Doh! Am I wrong? It's so beautiful to think about how I am a speck. Is this a waste of resources? Yes. But I think you could argue to greater or lesser extent that all art is kind of a waste of resources, depending on how you see waste. And we gotta do what it takes to make it, you know? I don't know, I'm open to criticism. Sticky, 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 sticky. This is why I'm no longer a baker. Okay, so I think I want to see if I can make the slopes a little bit reactive. I have no idea if this will work or not, but I'm gonna dust the whole thing with baking soda. There we go. It's art. No, it's a mental breakdown. So next, I bought this in April and I didn't realize it was decaf. I don't drink decaf. It has been rotting in my cabinet since then. So we're gonna make some dirt. Volcanic soil is some of the richest on the planet. We need it to be like, smell like earth. I know you can't smell it, but I can, and this is for me. At the part of the documentary where the aria is playing as they show footage of Katya and Mari's craft, and I know there's a documentary specific about them that my friends keep telling me I need to watch, but I can only find places to rent it, and I'm not gonna pay $4 to indulge whatever episode is happening right now for me. I think I want to put some vegetation on it. My partner and I bought this corn the last time we did groceries, and it's been just sitting in the back of our fridge. We haven't been eating it. I'm going to shuck the corn, cut off all the kernels, and marinate them, and probably grill that for dinner or like roast it or something. I'm gonna eat the corn tonight. This will be a benefit to this project, but we're gonna make some trees. Okay, I'm gonna use the little hairy corn bits. We're gonna make some grass, I think. I did a terrible thing. I had an idea to have some little buildings in my volcano landscape because I'm seeing all these shots of like habited volcanoes and stuff in the documentary. So what I did is I took some of my corn husk and I have extra Play-Doh, stuff like this. This is a piece of the extra Play-Doh. Wrapped the corn husk around the extra Play-Doh, and I think they're gonna make nice little structures. So I'm gonna make a bunch of these little things and start planting them. Someone in my extended family asks me when I'm having children, I'm just gonna show them this video. Maybe I should give them like roofs? I decided that's too much work. They're buildings, okay? So I decided I wanted to put some little people in my town because this is my game. So what I did was, where are my tweezers? I rolled some of my leftover Play-Doh in cornstarch just to give it a bit more shape and structure. And I'm gonna make little people. They don't have limbs or faces, but that's okay. This is imagination corner. Hi, Waldo. My cat is being so clingy today. I don't know what it is, if I'm like disrupting his routine or it's the weather. Hey, buddy. He's like rubbing all over me right now. These two are gonna be friends. They're gonna be right next to each other. They watched all last season of The Crown at each other's houses. Oh, they're falling into the dirt. They're being swallowed by the earth. Not yet. It's too early, guys. Tried to eat Play-Doh. Three little guys just chilling, having a nice time outside their house. I think with any project like this, there is an ideal version of the project, and there is the actualized version of the project. And what is important is that you are achieving whatever goal you had when you started. And my goal was to fuck around. So, I think we can say mission accomplished, even though we haven't set it off yet. Mission so far accomplished, and the rest is just bonus. I think it's done. I'm gonna pick up the camera and do a little swirly tour, and then we're gonna light her up a few times, and then I'm just gonna smash cut a bunch of takes together of whatever this is. I'll let you know if it makes me happy. I think I'm all done playing God. I think that's gonna about do it for us today. Do you know how many fucking dishes I just made for myself? The rest of the day is gonna be cleaning up about 3 minutes of joy. And if that's not a metaphor for life, I don't know what is. This was fun. This was a lot of fun. I highly recommend it. I better clean this up before my partner gets home.